evening, everyone. It is Friday night, May 24th, closing in on 9:30 p.m. here, and welcome into what is going to be a fairly brief video weather discussion tonight. A little bit short on time here, but did want to hop on a little bit to discuss a couple different things we have going on that will be coming up as well. First of all, we have been dealing with a couple of rounds of rain and thunderstorms across the state today, and we have, as expected, we have seen some severe weather across the state today as well. So on the screen right now is the live radar, and as you can see here, we do still have scattered showers and thunderstorms, especially across central Illinois. That's a pretty big cluster. So showers and thunderstorms ongoing across the state here as we now move into tonight. There's some thunderstorms going on. There's still a couple isolated severe thunderstorms every now and then. And what we're expecting to have happen here over the next couple of hours, next few hours, is this activity is going to, as you can see here, it is moving off towards the east, and it's going to continue to move off towards the east. You'll notice the backside of this activity is now through Quincy and now through the Quad Cities area. So this activity will continue to move off towards the east for the next couple of hours, but until then, if you're across a good chunk of the state, you might see some additional showers and thunderstorms here for the next couple of hours. Maybe a continuation of a very isolated severe thunderstorm threat at times. But once we get past, just past midnight, say let's midnight, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, the severe weather threat will have come to an end. And by 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, most of this rain and thunderstorm activity should be out of the state as well. Now, in terms of severe weather that we have seen today, these are all of the severe weather reports that we have seen across the state today, and you can see most of them have been here across northern and central Illinois. The blue dots represent damaging wind, green dots hail, and the red dots either funnel clouds or tornadoes. So as you can see here, severe weather did occur scattered about here across northern and central portions of the state as we have gone through today. There has been one confirmed tornado from very early this morning. It passed through Rock Island County and northern Henry County. That's the south side of the Quad Cities metro area, and that was an EF1 tornado that occurred out around that area earlier this morning. But so far, that's the only tornado that has been confirmed at this point in time, but as you can see, we did have severe weather scattered about across the state here. Now, as we go forward, the next thing we're going to be talking about is going to be the chance for more severe weather coming up as we get into your Sunday. So tomorrow, Saturday, is going to be a big severe weather day across the Plain States. From Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, down into Texas. Big severe weather event tomorrow. Could be tornadoes, all severe weather modes across the Plain States. And what's going to happen is that activity that develops in the plains tomorrow is eventually going to grow upscale into these big thunderstorm complexes, and one of which is likely probably going to pass across southern Illinois as we head through Sunday morning. So as we get into Sunday morning here, you can see this massive thunderstorm complex known as an MCS, Mesoscale Convective System. It's a fancy name for a big thunderstorm complex, heavy rain, thunderstorms, and whatnot. And as you can see here, it moves out of Kansas and Nebraska into Missouri and eventually into southern Illinois here as we move into your Sunday morning. This is right around 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. You can see this activity moving into southern Illinois, St. Louis metro area, and it likely will be severe at that time of the morning as well with that big complex moving through Sunday morning. And then you can see here how it moves across much of southern Illinois Sunday morning here. So severe weather will be likely with this initial complex of thunderstorms that moves through during the time period of Sunday morning. Now, this will move out fairly quickly as we get into midday. You can see things clear out here across the state, and that is going to allow for a return flow. Outflow will come back north as a warm front. We'll have warmer temperatures, destabilization, moisture returning in the wake of that morning activity. And with a kind of a double-barreled low pressure, might have one down here, and then there'll be a MCV or a thunderstorm Mesoscale vorticity up here induced low pressure up to the north, and it will have a trailing cold front that kind of comes down like that. So during the afternoon, we'll have a new round of severe weather develop here in front of those low pressure systems. Probably we'll see development from central Illinois down into Missouri Sunday afternoon, and then you can see how it pretty much explodes here across those areas. And then this activity is also going to sweep across central and southern Illinois. So southern Illinois, you may have 2 rounds of severe weather on Sunday. The first round Sunday morning, and then a second round Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, and into Sunday night. And speaking of that, as you can see, as we go into Sunday night here through Sunday evening and Sunday night, you can see how this activity, quite vigorous looking on this simulated radar off of one of the weather forecast models, and that continues into Sunday night before eventually moving off here into the Ohio Valley portion of Indiana, Kentucky, and Ohio. So once we get around and past midnight Sunday night, that's when things will quiet down here across the state of Illinois. So with that said, let's take a look at our initial, this is our first severe weather forecast for Sunday. And as you can see, we already have a level 3 severe thunderstorm risk in place across a good chunk, pretty much the southern half of the state of Illinois. If you were to cut the state in half, pretty much the entire southern half of the state of Illinois is a level 3 severe thunderstorm risk for Sunday. That means scattered severe thunderstorms will be quite possible, if not likely, across the level 3 risk area. You can see up here in the green shaded area, level 2 risk as you move northward through central Illinois. That's more slightly lower coverage, more widely scattered severe thunderstorm potential. And then for you folks up here, northern Illinois, that is where you're under a level 1 severe thunderstorm risk for Sunday. That's more of an isolated severe thunderstorm potential for those areas. And I would not rule out the possibility of needing to upgrade to a level 4 risk across portions of the southern part of the state. There's a pretty good chance we may need to do that in future updates. So that's something we're going to be watching for as well. Now, in terms of what kind of severe weather we could see, all modes of severe weather will be possible on Sunday. Damaging winds, hail, and some tornadoes as well. So all modes of severe weather will be possible on Sunday. And it could be a pretty big severe weather day for you folks down here across the southern portion of the state of Illinois. And once again, this is going to be 2 rounds of activity. We could see round number 1 during the morning across southern Illinois, and then we could see a second round affect a much larger part of the state. It'll develop out here, and then it'll move off towards the east, and that would be from the afternoon into the nighttime time frame. So with that said, let's check into the video chat here. Like I said, running a little bit low on time here tonight, so this is going to be a brief check of the video chat here tonight. Peyton checking in, Black Viking from YouTube, Steven checking in, Mr. Davis on YouTube as well, Deborah all checking in. Thank you for tuning in tonight. Brandon wondering if the first round of activity ends up further north, could the risks shift further north? Yes, you never want to rule that out, but most of the time, way more than 50% of the time, when we get these big thunderstorm complexes, usually they end up exactly where modeled or even south of where modeled. So it's fairly unusual for these thunderstorm complexes to end up further north than the weather model guidance shows. So we won't rule it out, but it's more likely than not those thunderstorm complexes will probably move, or that thunderstorm complex, singular, I should say, will move across the southern portion of the state on Sunday morning. Margot wondering if that similar question as Brandon had, if this significant threat could reach up. You're far northwestern Illinois, I know, Margot. You could have some risk up there. You're pretty close to that level 1 risk at this point in time. But without a doubt, it looks like a slam dunk, nearly a slam dunk. We don't want to get I don't want to say that. Nearly a slam dunk for a pretty big severe weather day across the southern portion of the state. And like I said, right now we have a level 3 risk in place across the southern half of the state, but it would not be surprising if we need to upgrade that, or at least portion of that area, to a level 4 risk eventually. So in summary here, once again, For tonight, first of all, we still do have some showers and thunderstorms ongoing across the state tonight. Every once in a while, there is an isolated severe thunderstorm that pops up, but we're expecting this activity to continue to move off towards the east. As you can see, it is here. And once we get past, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, the severe weather threat will be over, and this rain and thunderstorm activity will move out of the state for tonight. Also, once again, a bigger severe weather threat on the way for Sunday. We could see 2 rounds of severe thunderstorm activity across the state on Sunday. The first round across the southern portion of the state Sunday morning, perhaps lingering into the midday hours on Sunday. First round, southern Illinois, severe weather. And then during the afternoon, we could see redevelopment across central Illinois, maybe southern Iowa down into Missouri. And then that second round of activity would sweep across much of central and southern Illinois from Sunday afternoon into Sunday night, with a severe weather threat as well. So 2 rounds of potential activity regarding severe thunderstorms on Sunday, and all modes of severe weather will be possible on Sunday. Damaging winds, large hail, and some tornadoes as well. As I said a couple of minutes ago, it would not be surprising if we have to upgrade portions of the southern half of the state to a level 4 risk, which is pretty much equal, think of it as a Storm Prediction Center moderate risk. That's what our level 4 risk is. So it's possible we might have to upgrade here in the next couple of outlooks, but this is our first forecast for Sunday, so we didn't want to go overboard yet, but we are monitoring the situation. So with that said, we'll go ahead and end this discussion for tonight. Like I said, some showers and thunderstorms continuing for the next couple of hours across the state, maybe a lingering isolated severe thunderstorm threat across parts of the state for the next couple of hours, but once we get to midnight, 1, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, overnight tonight, rain and thunderstorms will move out tonight, severe weather threat will end, and then all of our focus will shift towards Sunday for like I said, the potential, if not likelihood, for 2 rounds of severe thunderstorms across the state on Sunday. Biggest severe weather threat pretty much across the southern half of the state. If you cut the state in half, southern half of the state, biggest severe weather threat for Sunday. All modes of severe weather will be possible. We will be posting our forecast shortly on all of our social media pages as well, and then tomorrow morning we will be back with a forecast update on our pages as well, so stay tuned to that, and then we'll update you tomorrow night as well, and then obviously Sunday morning, and then we'll be doing some coverage for you on Sunday as well. But for now, everyone have a great rest of your night, and if you don't tune in by any chance in any of our next forecast updates, have a good Memorial Day weekend as well.